I'm going to show you how you can go from making $0 to making $10,000 or $20,000 a month from the YouTube platform in just 3 months, and also how I went from making 0 to making $30K a month in just 4 months using these same strategies that I'll teach you in this video. And if you don't believe me, let me show you something. So I'm going to show you and explain to you how my students got numbers like Lou right here with 43K a month. But before we get into that, I want to tell you why you should become a YouTuber. And on the outside of the screen here, you're going to see a ton of screenshots. All of these screenshots are from the past month or so of my students absolutely crushing it, sending me screenshots in our community, talking about their results and using the same strategies that I'll teach you in this video. They're all absolutely crushing the game. So if you want to pause at any point and check out some of these screenshots, feel free to do so. To just give you a few of them, here's Casey right here in the top left saying she just got monetized, and also Casey here in the top middle making, getting 21,000 views on a single video. Here is Wilson on a brand new channel getting 1.6K. And my favorite part about all of these is they all have people responding to their wins, saying let's go, cheering them on, pushing them to go further and keep going. But anyway, let's get into why you should become a YouTuber in the first place. And maybe you shouldn't become a YouTuber if you don't care about these things. But number one, the pay. The pay is obviously great. Being able to post things that I actually care about, talk about things for a living that I actually care about, and make $30,000 a month, or in Lou's case, 43K, or sometimes 50K for some of my students in a month. It's pretty insane. And number two is the freedom. So this morning I woke up, brushed my teeth, and decided I want to take my dog to the park before I do any work. So I'll wake up, get work done, and then I go for a run and maybe take my dog to the park later on in the day. Today I woke up and I was just like, you know what, let's switch it up. I'm going to take my dog to the park first thing in the morning. And I have the freedom to do so, and I'm still having YouTube videos that I posted yesterday and YouTube videos that I posted 6 months ago, making me money while I'm taking my dog to the park. And you can't really beat that. I'm basically making, hundreds of dollars an hour for doing nothing. I have my systems so dialed in, and the same systems that I teach to my students and that I can teach to you. I have these systems so dialed in that I'm basically putting in about 30 minutes to maybe max an hour of work a day on these YouTube channels, and they're just generating me money because of the systems are so dialed in. So it just gives you so much freedom once you're able to implement these systems into your channels, which I'll teach you how to do in this video. Post about your passion for a living. I kind of touched on that earlier. You're able to post about things you actually care about instead of going to an office job and inputting data into spreadsheets all day, every day about things that you do not care about at all. You're able to actually make videos and post about things that you care about, that you're actually passionate about, and do that for a living. It's also very easy to transition out of YouTube if you ever choose to do so. So if you want to go into SMMA or ecom or any other business model, once you have built up a YouTube audience, it's extremely easy to go into any other business model out there that you want, but it doesn't work the other way around. So let's say you want to become an Instagram influencer after you're already a YouTube influencer. Well, it's very easy to get your YouTube audience to go over to IG, but it's not easy to get it to go the other way around, because the YouTube audience is so bought in and so loyal to you that whatever you want to sell to them, whatever business model you want to go into in the future, it's very, very easy to do that if you ever choose to do that. And also the opportunity right now is better than it's ever will be. So I'm very plugged into the YouTube space, obviously. I've helped hundreds of channels reach financial freedom using YouTube. I've done a ton of channels myself that made, 10, 20, 30K a month. I'm very plugged into the space, right? Right now, the opportunity is better than it ever has been before, and it's better than it ever will be in the future. People who are joining this program, people who are getting started on YouTube with me, they're making an insane amount of money, getting an insane amount of views. You can see over here on the left, Julian is 2 weeks in. He had a video hit 10K views. He actually, you'll see the screenshot somewhere around here, is 2 weeks in. He has a video at 65K views and he got monetized, and he's 2 weeks in. That's low-key unheard of for a lot of YouTubers out there nowadays. They feel like the struggle is just, it's crazy. It's so hard to get monetized. People are spending years to get monetized, man. And Julian comes in and gets monetized in 2 weeks. It's nuts what's happening right now. And it's only like that if you have the right systems. And if you can get in right now and you get the right systems in place right now and you get these results, you're going to be set literally for life. You're going to be set for a very, very long time. So let's get into, these couple of case studies here. We have Lou Valentino, who was driving celebrities around, really feeling like he wasn't, appreciated. He was driving people who were making a lot more money than him around, and they were treating him like absolute trash, treating him like he wasn't even a human. And he just got fed up with it. He was tired of working for somebody else. He quit that job, said, I'm going all in on YouTube, used my strategies, and you can see the money that he was making down here monthly. So that's 17K month. He doubled that, went to a 34K month, 38K month, and then a $43,000 month for Lou in his most recent month. Absolutely nuts. We also have Dennis, who makes $36K a month. He hired a bunch of other coaches, a bunch of other agencies trying to get YouTube to work for him. He couldn't get it to work. He finally hired me, and a couple months later, he was making $36K a month. Then we have Casey, who was working her nursing job. She really wasn't feeling it. I didn't know it at the time, but when she ended up joining my program, she was in a very, very dark place in her life. And now she posted a Twitter thread, which I believe you can see up here, talking about how, she's very grateful for the opportunity to be inside of the program. She was in a very dark place. And not only did the program have her quit her job, her nursing job, and go full-time on YouTube, but it also boosted her self-confidence. And, that's what I love about it. We're creating this culture that's not just about making money from YouTube, but it's about improving in all areas of life. Like on our group calls, we're always talking about mindset things and how you can be a higher performer and stuff like that. I'm always giving them the sauce, not just on YouTube and how to make a lot of money. Like, we're all doing that. We're all crushing it in there, but we want to level up in other areas of life as well, and fitness and mindset and all these other areas. So it's the culture that we've built is absolutely insane. And I'm super proud of Casey for what she's accomplished so far. Long way to go though. So we also have Coach here, who was my very first student ever. And he went from 0 to 33K subs in 6 weeks. Coach had a kind of a tandem channel where he co-owned a channel with somebody else who his name's Nick. Shout out to Nick. They're both awesome guys. I love those guys. But their channel was struggling a bit, and he texted me one day and he was like, man, I see you crushing it. Like, can you help me out? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, here's what you have to do. I basically just gave him an action plan. We got on a couple calls. I helped him out. He revived that old channel, that dead channel. And he also started a new channel that went from 0 to 33K subs in just 6 weeks because of the information that I gave him. And obviously Coach did a great job of implementing that information, but you don't go 0 to 33K subs in 6 weeks by accident. And before we get into the value of this video, before I get into the breakdown of these systems that all these people like Coach, Casey, Lou, Dennis, Montre, all these other guys who you can see on the outside of these screenshots are using, let's first talk about who this video is for and who this video isn't for, so you don't waste your time and you don't waste mine either. So who this video is for: action takers, people who are ready to take action. If you're not ready to take action, if you're not someone who's going to take action on the information that I give you today, this video is not for you. Like, I don't want you watching my YouTube videos. I don't want you in my coaching program. I'm very, very picky on who I allow in and who I don't. And I'll get into that a little bit later on. But if you're not an action taker, it's just not a good fit. Like, you're not a good fit to be around this community or in this coaching program or watching these videos. Good mindset around money. So if you have a bad mindset around money, you feel like it's very scarce. You feel like, the way I describe money, the way I think about money is it's called currency for a reason, right? It's supposed to flow. If your currency is not flowing into your bank account and then you're investing in things that's going to make you even more money, and then that money comes in and you invest in things that's going to make you even more money. If you're not thinking about money as if it's a current and it's supposed to flow in and out, then it's going to be, it's going to be like a stagnant pond, right? And what happens to ponds that aren't moving? They turn green. They get filled up with algae. They turn all gross and slimy and stuff. And if your money's just sitting in your bank account, you feel like it's super scarce and you're working this comfy job and you're just trying to hold on to every single point on that imaginary scoreboard that you possibly can, you're not probably going to be a good fit for my coaching program, because I like people who have a good mindset about money, realize that it's not a scarce resource, that 30K months are possible, 60K months, 100K months, they're all possible. But you just have to view it as a currency that flows in and out. And you have to be willing to invest in yourself and your education and your YouTube channel in order to actually see those months happen. If you don't, you're just going to be stuck where you are forever, and you won't be a good fit for this coaching program. I want people who are leaders, who aren't followers, and I want people who have a good message to spread. So I'll get into this in 1 second, but a major goal of mine is to fill up the YouTube platform with good people who have good messages to spread, and just equip them with the skills that are needed in order to grow really quickly, the skills and knowledge that are needed to grow really quickly. And I'll get into that more in 1 second. But if you don't have a good message to spread, it's not going to be a great fit. You also need to have drive and ambition, and also be coachable. If you don't have drive and ambition, if you're not trying to better your life, if you're cool where you're at in your comfy job, then you probably shouldn't be watching this video. It's probably not for you. You probably shouldn't be wanting to join my coaching program. It's probably not for you. If you want more out of life, if you always felt like you wanted to be special, like you wanted to actually achieve something, put a dent in the universe, then this video is for you. And if you're not coachable, then this video is also not for you, because you will need to buy into the system in order for it to actually work for you. I also want to dispel some myths that a lot of other gurus out there and a lot of people have these wrong ideas about YouTube and how to grow on YouTube and what YouTube really means whenever you're a full-time YouTuber. So other gurus' advice, right? There's a ton of gurus out there that'll tell you, oh yeah, the secret is what time you upload videos and the tags that you put on your videos and stuff like that. It's all nonsense. I uploaded a video the other day. I uploaded at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I don't ever put tags on my videos ever, because tags are just, they're outdated, right? All that matters is the description and the title and the thumbnail and the hook and things like that. And the stuff that I'm going to tell you later on in this video. The description is what matters, not the tags. If anybody's telling you that tags are the secret, they're lying and they don't know what they're talking about. I don't ever put tags on my videos, and you can go on my Instagram and see my results that I get on my personal videos. It's nuts, right? The other day I posted a video at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, no tags, got 500K views so far. And that was like 3 or 4 days ago. So another thing that they'll sell you is, oh yeah, it's super easy. This YouTube automation stuff. You just pick a video topic and have ChatGPT generate you some video ideas, and then hire some cheap freelancers from India, and boom, now you're a millionaire. It's like, dude, it doesn't work like that. You still need to understand the methods. You still need to understand the systems that I teach people, and that's how it's actually going to work. So if anybody's telling you upload time, tags, or the Indian method, it's like they probably don't know what they're talking about very much. But it also, like, the fact that people think it takes forever to get going on YouTube, it doesn't. I just showed you Julian, who just joined 2 weeks ago, had no idea what he was doing on YouTube, and he's already monetized in 2 weeks. And I mean, not just monetized, but absolutely crushing the game. 65K views on one video so far, and he has multiple others that are at 20K, 10K. You know, he's crushing the game. And it's just 2 weeks old, and that's not uncommon. People join and do that all the time. They also think it's very inconsistent and unpredictable. That's only the case if you don't have proven systems in place. If you have proven systems, like I'm going to show you in this video that I have and my students have, it's not very inconsistent or unpredictable at all. It's actually very, very predictable. And you're able to basically predict how a video will perform and how much money a video is going to make before you even post it, if you have the right systems in place. So I'll show you how to do that as well. We already talked about this a little, but if you think, you know, online money is a scam, then this video is just not for you. Like, if you're not aware of how much money, if you're not open-minded to how much money you can actually make with YouTube, it's just not going to be a good fit, because I don't want to have to, you know, break your beliefs personally on how much money you can make in order for you to actually have success in the program. Like, if your beliefs around money are already that it's super scarce resource and that it's hard to make it online, like, I don't feel like having to break that belief for you. Go do that on your own. Go watch my other content, you know, where I talk about these things, or go watch somebody else's content where they talk about making money online. Like, I don't want to have to break that belief for you. So hopefully you're already open-minded and you realize that online money is not a scam. And lastly, you think that this won't work for you. This has worked for hundreds of channels at this point. You're not that special to where, you know, this won't work for you specifically. It's going to work for you. It'll take some buy-in. It'll take some effort on your part. It'll take some investment, but it will work for you 100%. Like, if you put the work in, if you buy into the system, there is zero chance that it won't work for you. But I'm sure by now you're wondering, why the hell would I listen to this guy who's just, you know, in front of his camera talking about how much money he makes from YouTube? Why would I trust him? You know, why would I listen to him? Why would I implement his systems and want his systems that he's teaching and that he teaches his students, right? So basically, I started YouTube back when I was 12 years old. And, you know, I saw people who were making more money than my parents, who were just posting Call of Duty videos online. And I wanted to do that. It was super interesting. It was super cool to me. I wanted to do it. But obviously I was 12. I didn't have the skills. I didn't know that online coaches or courses or anything existed. So I just basically failed pretty hard and I quit. And, you know, I tried to get in high school a little bit. I got made fun of, so I didn't go super serious into it. But in 2020, I started to take YouTube really, really seriously, and I saw some really good success. Not at first. At first, it was a little slow, but it was 2020, so there was nothing else I could do. So I said, you know what? I'm going to just obsess over this, and I'm going to succeed on YouTube or die trying. So I read all the books. I went into scientific studies and read a lot of those, watched a lot of YouTube videos. And if you're inside of the program now, or if you watch my videos a lot, you know I'm very into the psychology and sciences behind how to grow a YouTube channel and how to manipulate people's psychology into clicking on your videos and staying through and watching the entire thing. That's what I like, you know, because that's what works. That's what the top YouTubers out there are using. And after obsessing over it for a while, you know, a few months and like truly obsessing over how to grow on YouTube, I finally had a couple of good months where I was making a couple thousand, ended up quitting my job and went full time on YouTube. And then the money started to dwindle. And this is a mistake that I will never, ever make again, is thinking that, not understanding that I don't know what I don't know. And at that time, I definitely didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't have these systems in place. So things were very unpredictable for me. Things 100% were unpredictable. And I made a couple thousand a month, and then it went down to, you know, a couple hundred a month. And it was like, okay, it's panic mode. I have to swallow my pride now. And after a few months, just 6 to 8 months of trying to be full-time on YouTube, I had to go get a job and swallow my pride and go get a job. And this was the largest wake-up call for me ever, because I was working in a warehouse with people who were welders and 50-year-old men who had given up on life. They were zombies at that point. And that was something that I swore to myself I would never be, as somebody who gives up in life and becomes one of those zombies. You know, I always wanted to be special. I always wanted to be more. And I'm sure if you're watching this video still, you relate. You want to be special. You want to be more. And you don't do that by staying in jobs like that and taking no action outside of it. You do that by investing in yourself, by taking action and making things happen. You know, like you have to make it happen. And that's what I realized. Like, I have to go make something happen. So I went and got a remote job so I could actually work on my business. I desperately applied and applied and interviewed. And I said, you know what? I'm taking whatever shift I get, whatever job offer I get. If it's remote, I'm taking it, so I can actually have time to work on my business, my YouTube channel at the same time. And that's when things really took off. Whenever I got that job and I said, you know what, it's no looking back from here. I'm going all in, and I'm going to make YouTube work 100%. Things really started to take off. You know, a few months later, I was making 20, 30K a month from the main channel. That channel ended up actually getting deleted. I still don't know what happened to this day. It's wild, but you know, I have a ton of screenshots from it that I can maybe throw on the screen. Where I was making 25, 30K a month from that channel. Ended up getting deleted, but then I made a new channel and it went from 0 to 10K subs in just 2 weeks. But you know, I'm a Christian, and a couple weeks before the main channel got banned, I actually prayed and I said, this is what I've always wanted, right? This life, this YouTube life that I'm living right now. But I don't know if it's what the life that God wanted for me. So I said, give me a sign if it's not, and give me a sign if it is. And whatever path you lay out in front of me, I'll fully follow it. I'll fully trust it that it's the best one for me. A couple weeks later, my channel got banned. And after the channel got banned, my first instinct was, well, I'm not going to let this keep me down. I promised I would never go back to working a job and being a zombie. I'm going to start a new one. I got that one from 0 to 10K subs, fully monetized in 2 weeks. And there was still a calling on me to do something else. Like, there was something, God was telling me to go do something else. And I fully believe that it was God connecting me with this person. His name was Brandon. He ended up mentoring me and teaching me how to start an actual coaching business. And I realized that I'm supposed to start build an army of YouTubers. Instead of just having myself, I'm supposed to equip a lot of good people, as many good people as I can, with the skills to grow their own YouTube channels. And that's what I realized. You know, I'm still in the YouTube game myself. I still have a few, like, you know, automated channels. I have some channels that I'm posting on myself to kind of just stay in the game and be able to stay on top of things, and also show my students what's possible, and, you know, stuff like that. I want to stay in the game, but my main focus now is equipping good people with the skills that is needed to grow on YouTube. So that's basically, you know, my story and why you should listen to me. Let's get back into the value though, and explain to you how you can actually do this yourself. So as I was explaining, it's not a linear growth thing, right? It's not like your growth on YouTube and my growth on YouTube. You can see this is how I went from 0 to 30K a month in 4 months. It's not going to be like this, right? What's more like it is it went like this. I made a couple thousand a month, and then it drops down to 400. Then, you know, maybe 3,000 a month drops down to 700. Maybe 8,000 a month drops down to 2,000. It really looks like this. And when you don't have systems in place, this is what it's going to look like. You know, it's going to look very, very unpredictable. It's going to look very, very inconsistent and very scary for someone who wants to go full time. Maybe you have a family, maybe you have kids, or maybe you don't. And it's just very scary. It's very risky looking whenever the graph looks like that, but it doesn't have to look like that. That's the thing. So most of you watching are probably around here, right? Maybe here, but most of you are probably a beginner making $0 a month. You're lost and confused. You're throwing stuff at the wall, try to see what sticks, and nothing's sticking. No clear strategy, no refined niche. You have bad packaging, you know, bad thumbnails, titles, all that stuff. You're maybe afraid to invest in yourself and in your channel and your education. And then some people, you know, one level higher than this, you're more of a freelancer, right, than a beginner. You have random spurts of success. You know, sometimes you see views on your videos, but sometimes you don't, and you don't know how to consistently have them get a lot of views and have a higher floor and a higher ceiling. You get unpredictable views. Your niche isn't a viral niche. You don't have a super refined niche like I'll teach you how to have in this video. You're a one-person operation. You don't have any freedom yourself because you're doing your thumbnails, you're editing everything. You're making the videos yourself, everything. And you're just spinning your tires. You just feel like you're stuck. And 1 to 3K in this situation is kind of generous, to be honest. If you're on this stage, you're probably making around $500 to $1,000 a month, maybe 2,000. Somewhere around there, but still you're more, you know, of a glorified freelancer than an actual business owner or a YouTuber. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get from down here to up here to being an actual YouTuber, making 10K plus a month. And this is, when you have consistent, predictable virality, you have a perfected niche, you understand your audience to a point where you're able to predict how a video will perform, before you even post it, just by seeing the topic itself. You're more of a business owner. So you maybe hire out, a thumbnail artist, a video editor, and now you feel like a business owner and you have a lot of freedom. And you're a real you have a team, and you have lots of profit. You're not having like 30% margins where you're only taking home 30% because of the people that you're hiring out. I do 30 minutes to an hour of work on YouTube a day, and I have like 85% profit because I set it up the right way, and I can teach you how as well. And you also have a happy bank account, and you're a happy YouTuber. And, for example, you can see over here and a ton of these screenshots, right? Julian started a week ago, already has a video at, 10K views. Daniel just found his niche. Now he's crushing the game because we refined his niche for him as soon as he joined. This video 6 hours in has 63K. Julian, new video going crazy. He just joined 1 week ago, had a video hit 45K. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, right? And the reason why they're able to do things like this and like this, just casual 1 out of 10s for Jerome, is the Viral 5 system that I'll break down right here in this video. The Viral 5 system is topics, titles, thumbnails, timing, and tenacity. So first off, we have the topics section. And let me zoom out so you can actually see these screenshots in the surrounding area. If you want to pause, once again, all these screenshots are from the last month or so from my students and people who have implemented this system right here. So topics is first. And the first thing that I need to teach you how to do is how to have a viral niche. So there's 3 parts to a viral niche. You have knowledge. You need to have knowledge. Other people need to want that knowledge that you have. You need to have polarity in order to drive engagement. You need to be able to have some polarizing opinions. Just create emotions within people whenever they see your videos, when they see the titles and thumbnails, when they're watching the actual video. You need to be able to create that emotion, because if you can make people feel things, feel emotions, you can make them do whatever you want. And that might sound bad, but we're not trying to get them to rob banks. We're trying to get them to watch your YouTube videos. It's not that big of a deal. Everybody does it. Last thing you need is interest. You should be interested in the topic because you don't want to burn out. You don't want to make videos that you're super uninterested on. And also other people need to be interested in it as well for it to get views, for obvious reasons. If you can find something, a niche in the center of all of these 3 things, you have yourself a gold mine channel. So now we move a little bit further down to this system. This is the money right here. This thing right here has made so many of my students a ton of money, has made me a ton of money, and this is the pocket system. This is basically how we go about choosing our video topics, okay? And this is how we go about understanding our audience to a point, like I was talking about earlier, to insert that predictability, that consistency, that consistent virality, and understand our audience so much that we can see a topic on a screen and we can know how the video is going to perform. This is the system that people implement inside of my coaching program that allows them to see that consistent virality, that predictability. So first off, we have the targeted test phase, and this larger circle is going to represent your overall niche. The smaller circles represents individual video ideas within that niche, okay? First is the targeted test. So we're throwing out video ideas, and I'll tell you later on in this video, but I'll literally help you inside the coaching program figure out what videos to put out there for the targeted test phase. That's a very important part of the whole puzzle. But this is a targeted test, right? These little circles represent videos that you're throwing out there to see what sticks, right? The second phase is going to be when we have a hit. And this green circle right here is going to represent the hit. So this is a video that does, it's an overperformer. The skill here is going to be telling when a video is an overperformer. Like, it's not just any 1 out of 10. It's very distinct, characteristics of a hit. But once you do have that hit inside of the pocket system, then that green circle is now your new niche. You're going to ignore literally every single other part of the circle and just focus in on that green circle. That becomes your new niche. Every video that you're posting going forward is going to be inside of this green circle right here, because that is now your new niche. And that's where the money is made. That's where the capitalization phase is. That's where you're going to make, like I said, a ton of money, get a ton of views. But then eventually that topic is going to cool off. You can't just stick in that one circle forever. You are going to have to, do some other things with the channel, because that topic is going to cool off. Maybe it was a trending event, a current event that was hot at the time. Maybe people were super interested in that, and then the interest kind of dies off a bit. You run out of things to talk about when it comes to that one topic. Whatever the case is, there's going to be a cool off period, right? Once the cool off period comes, you can see the green circle turned yellow. Then we're just going to reset. Right? And you can see this arrow goes back to the beginning. You just go back to the targeted test phase. And when you run through this loop enough times, you're going to be able to understand your audience to a point that nobody else in the niche does understand it. Literally nobody. You're going to understand exactly what your audience wants. You're going to understand exactly what every single metric on all of your videos means, to the point where it's just going to become second nature to you to run this loop. And it's also going to insert so much predictability and consistency, but also so much virality and so many views and so much money that you can make from implementing this system. It's nuts. It probably has generated millions of dollars in income for me and my students since I've started implementing this exact system into their channels. This system right here is nuts. Like you need to implement that. And I can't believe I'm giving that out for free. Anyway, let's go on to titles. So the title section is the next T, or the next part of the Viral 5 system. There's 3 parts. Like I said, I'm a scientist when it comes to this stuff. I'm very, very into the science behind why everything works. And the scientific breakdown for why titles work, or what makes a good title, is 3 things: buzzwords, keywords, and SEO. Buzzwords are words that entice the click and separate your video from other videos that are like it. Let's get into some examples, okay? This video is a video from Astacross. The title is The Truth About Destiny 2 and Bungie. Astacross reacts. So the truth is the word that separates this video from the other videos that are like Destiny 2 and Bungie. This isn't just another gameplay video about Destiny 2. This isn't just another video about Bungie. This is the truth about Destiny 2 and Bungie, okay? That's what's going to be separating it from the other videos like it. It's going to entice people to click on the video. Now let's move on to keywords. Keywords are words that tell the algorithm who to push this video to. What audience specifically is this video created for? Who do I push the video to? And there's other ninja tactics you can use with your description and with what you're actually saying inside of the video, which a lot of people don't know, that you can, repeat these keyword phrases and it will send it to the correct audience the more you repeat it in the description and inside of the video itself. In this case, the truth about Destiny 2 and Bungie. Destiny 2 and Bungie are going to be the keyword phrases because you want this video to be pushed to people who play Destiny 2 or are familiar with Destiny 2, and people who are familiar with Bungie and play Bungie games. So that's going to be the keyword phrase for this title here. And then the SEO phrase, it's search engine optimization. I'm sure most of you already know what that means, but we do want to optimize for search. I know people say that search is dead, and it's definitely not as volatile, or, it's not, you shouldn't target it as much as you're getting recommended on YouTube, but it's still a traffic source, right? It's still a way to get discovered. So we might as well optimize for it where possible. And Astacross's name holds weight in this space. He understands that. And this is an Astacross video. So he put Astacross Reacts in there. Even though everybody already knows it's Astacross reacting, he puts Astacross reacts because he wants that SEO. It adds to the SEO. It'll rank him in search higher if he puts his own name in there because his name holds weight. Now we move on to thumbnails. And obviously I'm going to bring up the thumbnail master, Mr. Beast, when we're talking about thumbnails for your YouTube channel. And with these, you want to target the subconscious mind. Think about how short attention spans are nowadays. Think about you. Whenever you're laying in your bed late at night, you're scrolling, you probably have a million thoughts going through your head, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. But you want to target the subconscious because you're laying in bed late at night, you're scrolling on your phone, thinking about what happened at work today, thinking about all the stresses that are happening in your life. You're looking for a YouTube video to take that away. You're not consciously thinking about each video that you see. Your subconscious is telling your mind the story of what you're seeing. And this is what I teach to my students, and it's an absolute game changer. You want to tell the story with images the best as possible because your subconscious mind is not going to be reading paragraphs on these thumbnails, but your subconscious mind can tell the story with the images that it's seeing very, very quickly. And if you're able to target the subconscious mind, you're able to take over the YouTube recommendations feed, because then people are going to click on your video at a much higher clip. Because once again, people are not conscious whenever they're scrolling on YouTube looking for a video to click on. They're thinking about a million other things. So we have to target the subconscious, which is what I dive into very, very deep inside of the program. Like I said, I'm very scientific when it comes to this stuff, but Mr. Beast is a master at telling the story with images, using certain hand gestures and facial expressions and color patterns. And when he does use text, he does it very, very well. And tying in the thumbnail with not only the title, but also the hook of the video. His thumbnails are just masterful, and there is a science behind the whole thing. The next T, or the next part of the Viral 5 system, is timing. It's all about framing when it comes to timing. So for example, we use Mr. Beast's channel again. Whenever the Squid Game trend was happening, everybody was talking about Squid Game. Squid Game took over the entire world. Mr. Beast understood this trend, this current event. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So he rushed to get the sets created. He paid a ton of money to get these sets created and get these people cast for the video. And he made the highest viewed video on YouTube of all time because he leveraged this current event and this trend. And that's all that timing is about. This is why timing is why I'm able to go into any niche for any of my students and for myself and absolutely dominate, because we leverage timing. And it's not just about anything that's breaking news or a current event or trend, it's also about the way you frame certain videos. There's ways you can frame certain video ideas that you have in order to make it sound like it's breaking news. For example, let's say Joe Rogan talked about, maybe a couple years ago, you find a clip of Joe Rogan talking about Michael Jordan, why he's not the greatest of all time. Instead of saying Joe Rogan, titling a video, Joe Rogan a couple years ago says this, or Joe Rogan once said that Michael Jordan isn't the GOAT, you can title the video and say, Joe Rogan just destroyed Michael Jordan's legacy or something like that. And by saying just destroyed, you make people think you frame the video as if it's breaking news. And technically you're not lying, because just is a relative term. Just to an 85-year-old could mean 2 years ago. Like Joe Rogan said, you know, it was whenever he said that thing about Michael Jordan that you're talking about. But to the subconscious mind, you're framing the video as if Joe Rogan just said it yesterday. Like that's what people first think of nowadays whenever you say the word just, right? So it's all about framing, and there's ways you can get creative with things like that. It's best if you do tackle a current event or trend, which there's ways you can stay on top of that by using stuff like Twitter lists or Google Trends. You can always stay on top of timing and get ahead of these current events and breaking news. Once again, this timing is why I'm able to go explode channels so quickly, because I leverage this every single chance that I possibly get. And also the way that I frame videos, where I'm not even leveraging timing, but I make it seem like I am by the framing of the videos. So next up, we have Tenacity. This is going to be the last part of the Viral 5 system. And Tenacity is basically just the mindset behind everything, right? So what I want you to understand is that these systems that I'm talking about in this video will 100% work for you. There is literally no reason why it wouldn't. It's worked for hundreds of other channels and gotten them to financial freedom. You're not that special to where it wouldn't work for you specifically. It will take some buy-in, and you will have to trust the process. And if you don't, then it's not going to work. You have to buy into the system. You have to trust the process. But other than that, like, there's zero reason why this wouldn't work for you. You have to go into this thinking, I am not going to let anything hold me back. Nothing is going to hold me back. I deserve this life. And I truly believe that you do deserve this life. I think anybody who wants financial freedom, who wants, you know, to not work a job that they absolutely hate, and be able to wake up every day and do what they want and work when they want and post videos on what they want. I think anybody who truly wants that and desires that deserves to have it. But you have to put the work in. You have to take the action. You have to make the investments that prove to the universe that you do deserve it. You know, that's what it comes down to. And once again, these systems right here, they will work for you. I promise they will. You're not that special to where it won't. I've done this for hundreds of channels at this point. You just have to buy in and trust the process, and let nothing hold you back when it comes to this. And I'm actually going to show you inside of my coaching program and show you exactly what's going to happen whenever you join. I just rebuilt this entire program to make it absolutely lethal, to make it super streamlined. And it's not like you're going to have to watch through all of these videos, which all these videos are super, super valuable. They're actually pretty short and just packed with info, just absolutely jam-packed. But you're literally going to join the program, and you're instantly, we're going to plan out your first few videos that you're going to post within the program on our very first onboarding call, on our launch call. And these videos are going to do so much better than your past videos. It's already going to make the investment worth it right there. And you can see, this is the welcome page right here. And you can see step one will be join our community. That's the community that I was talking about, that everybody's just super supportive, and it's a great community to be a part of. But step number two will be book your one-on-one launch call with Justin, with me, to plan out your next few videos and solve any issues that you're facing. Schedule this call a few days out so you can first watch or find your niche section of the course. So I want to make sure that your niche is really refined before we go into it. And you're going to bring a few channels that you want to model yourself after to the call. And we're literally going to go dissect your entire competition, take the best parts of their channels, of all of their, you know, Viral 5, their topics, titles, thumbnails, timing, all that stuff. We're going to implement the best parts into your channel, and you're literally going to start off on an amazing foot, just like everybody else. Just like Julian, who you saw get 65K views in his first couple weeks, like Jerome, who got a 1 out of 10 literally the same day that he joined, the same day that we did this launch call, like Casey, who, you know, who just quit her job, like Dennis, all these people, they literally, we just hop on the launch call, plan out the next few videos, and then like it's amazing the jump that they take. And we also implement, you know, the pocket system, and I give them a clear plan. You know, I'm going to give you a clear plan to move forward. And the process is just so quick from that point. It's insane. You know, once you join, like, I'm not one of those guys that's like, okay, you join, then you have to watch through 30 hours of course content before we get started. No, you're going to watch a couple of videos. Then we're literally just going to get on a one-on-one call and plan out your content for you and plan out your thumbnails, your titles, everything. And it's going to be a huge difference from what you were posting before to what you're posting now, and the views that you get and the money that you make. It's going to be a huge difference. And this course is very, very comprehensive. I put my absolute all into this. I literally just finished this a couple of days ago, and there's some ninja tactics in here. There's some, you know, it breaks down the entire Viral 5. There's shorts, how to use shorts. There's all this equipment, all, you know, any kind of equipment for any kind of, you know, phase that you're in with your YouTube channel. It's all there. Audio equipment, video equipment. There's, you know, how to perfect the, you know, make the perfect thumbnail, me actually making thumbnails myself. There's everything in here. You know, there's literally everything in here that you could possibly need. I couldn't imagine someone going through this course, and even without my help, you know, even if you didn't have my mentorship, which you will have, even without that, I couldn't imagine someone watching through this and implementing everything that I tell you to and not seeing massive success and not making enough money to leave your job and not making $10,000 or $20,000 a month. And to add on to that, I'm literally going to be there holding your hand throughout the entire process. I'm going to be with you the entire way, in addition to this program right here. But if you're ready for the next steps, here is how I can actually help you out. So there's actually two paths you can take from here, right? There's a path number one, or path A, where you stay very comfortable now, you stay in your comfy job where you're surrounded by zombies and becoming a zombie yourself. But these imaginary points don't leave your bank account, right? Those imaginary points that people are they're holding on so tight to that if they're not flowing like a current, then they're going to turn green and turn all slimy like a stagnant pond does, right? You can stay happy now, but be sad later whenever a few years down the line, you realize, man, that Justin guy really, he gave me a good opportunity. It could have been life-changing money that I made. It could have been a completely different lifestyle. Could have lived the life that I always wanted, but instead I chose to stay comfortable in the moment. Instead of getting a little bit uncomfortable and investing into the program, I chose to stay comfortable and not actually achieve my dreams. Or you can take path B, where you get a little bit uncomfortable, but you know, a couple months, a couple weeks down the line, you're seeing massive growth in your YouTube channel. You're seeing some numbers come into your bank account that you've never seen before, and you get very, very happy later on down the line. And imagine, you know, 3-5 years from now, how much money you'll be making if you learn how to make 10K a month in a couple of months inside the program. Imagine how much you're going to be making in 3 to 5 years if you continue to improve. You know, and, you know, just compare them. If you zoom out, take both of these paths to their logical conclusion in 3 to 5 years from now. You stay happy now, you stay comfortable now, or you get uncomfortable now. And path A, 3 to 5 years from now, you're still in the same spot that you are now, very unhappy, not fulfilled, not making a ton of money, or not making as much as you're worth. And you're not living the life that you dream of, and you're going to be filled with regret because you didn't try, you didn't take action like we talked about earlier. Or if you take path B to its logical conclusion, you get a little bit uncomfortable now, you're going to be very, very happy in the future whenever you're making 50K, 60K, maybe even 6 figures a month in 3 to 5 years from now. If you continue to improve on the things that I'm going to give you, on, you know, the fact that I'm going to help you make 10, 20K, possibly 40, 50K a month, just like Lou, who, you know, obviously got a bit uncomfortable whenever he first joined the coaching program. It's not a comfortable thing to do to see those imaginary points leave your bank account. It's just not, right? Like it's not fun for anybody to see those imaginary points leave their bank account. But if you want to be truly great and you want to join people like Lou and Dennis and these guys who are making this money, you have to make the same sacrifice that they did and get a bit uncomfortable. You know, and get a bit uncomfortable and take the risk. You know, there's nothing that I could say to make you comfortable in it. You're trying to become someone who you've never been before. So of course your lizard brain is going to fire off and be like, danger, danger, we're going into this territory we've never been before. You're trying to become someone who you've never been before. So your lizard brain is going to try to hold you back because it wants to keep you safe, you know, but your logical brain has to just think through these things and understand, I'm trying to become someone who I've never been before. This is why my lizard brain is firing off. This is something I must do. This is action. This is an action that I must take in order to escape and actually achieve the life that I've always wanted to live. Just like Casey did, who was working a nursing job, barely had any time to work on YouTube. I gave her a clear plan to move forward, and now she quit her job in just a few months, and she's full-time on YouTube. Like, it's not that complicated. It's simple. It's not that easy. It's going to take work. It's going to take buy-in and trust in the process, but it's very simple. I'll give you a very, very simple clear plan. And like Coach, you went from 0 to 33K subs in 6 weeks, like we talked about earlier. And like all these other screenshots you can see that I've been having on the screen throughout this entire video, and they're all just from the past month or so. But I know what you're probably asking me, how much does this all cost? And most people, they would try to keep it a secret and try to get you on calls and stuff like that. I don't want you to waste my time. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to accept anyone into my program that I don't know for a fact, 100% fact, that I can get results for. So I'm going to be very clear and honest with you. A while back, I made that decision where I'm only going to accept people that are going to, number one, 100% get results for, like get great results for, like you can see on the side on all these screenshots and all these case studies that I have on the screen. That's number one. Number two are going to be great fits within the community so that they can interact with people. They're not going to be a poison. And also they have a good message to spread. And I'm not going to lie to you. I did refund a few people in the last few weeks when I made that decision. And I kind of fired them and said, we're going to have to shake hands, part ways. I'm going to give you a full refund. And, I hope you learned a lot, but this just isn't a great fit, and we have to just shake hands and part as friends. And now I don't even accept you unless you meet all that criteria where I know for a fact I can get results for you, and you're going to be a hard worker. You're going to come in and trust the process. You have a good message to spread, and you're going to be a good fit within the community. You're not going to be a poison. So anyway, how much does this all cost, right? That's probably what you're wondering. Right now, as of February 22nd, and when I'm recording this video, the price is $3,000. And I know that might sound like a lot of money to some of you. It might sound like a steal to some of you. For me, it's an absolute steal. The price is 100% going up very soon. So that's why I specified in February 22nd of 2024, the price is $3K. Let me put this into perspective, right? Let's say you pay $3K to join the coaching program. I looked this up, and on Glassdoor, the average salary for a full-time YouTuber is $60,000 a year. Now, I'm not aiming to make anybody $60,000 a year on YouTube. We're trying to make $60K in a month, right? But let's just say, worst case scenario, you make the average of what full-time YouTubers make. You make $60,000 in the first year of you joining the coaching program. That means if you don't invest this $3K, which is an extremely low price for everything that I just described that you're going to get, if you don't invest this $3K, you're missing out on $57,000 this year, worst case scenario. Now let's say you're able to make $10K a month, which is honestly my floor for what I want to teach people how to make. You're able to make $10K a month within the program, right? Then if you don't invest the $3K, you're missing out on $117,000 this year alone. Now imagine how much you're going to be making in 5 years. Let's say you're making $50K a month. Imagine how much money you're missing out because you didn't invest this $3K. But I know that not everybody has that kind of cash on them. Not everybody can just, throw $3,000 at a coaching program. Some people have kids. Some people, the jobs aren't paying that much. And that's why you're wanting to get into YouTube in the first place, right? You don't have the money to invest. So I do have payment plan options if you absolutely need it, if it's absolutely necessary. We can discuss some payment plan options. So if that's your holdup and you have some money to invest, just not the full $3K, you can still move forward. We can still try to figure something out. If you're really bought in, if you meet all the other criteria, we can still figure something out for you. And if you do feel like you meet all this criteria, you do want to move forward, you do want to see about joining the coaching program, here's how I can help you out. So there's going to be a link below this video, a couple of links actually. One link is going to be to book a call with me directly. We can discuss and see if you're a good fit. And if you are, we can, figure out the pricing and everything like that and move forward, get you onboarded, get you on that launch call, and get you getting a ton of views and making a ton of money from YouTube. So that's what you can do. Or if you're just ready to go now and you want to just have me ask you a couple questions via DM and just join the program, you can shoot me a DM over on Instagram, right? And you can ask me any questions, or you can say, hey man, I'm ready to join. What questions do you have from me? I'll ask you a few questions, make sure you qualify. And if you do, we'll get you on board into the program. Once again, I understand that it's a lot of money, but you will make your money back. Even if worst case scenario, you're like make as much as the average YouTuber. If you don't invest, you're going to be missing out on $57K this year. And if you make as much as I think you should be making in the first few months, which is $10K a month, if you actually come in, put the work in, trust the process, all these things, you meet the criteria, right? I'm only going to let you in if I know for sure that I can get you results. Like I'm not even going to let you in unless I know for sure that I can get you to that $10K a month mark. So in that case, you'd be missing out on, like I said, $117,000 this year. If you want to, see about joining the program, see if you qualify, hop on a quick call with me and ask me a few questions and have me see if you qualify for the program. You want to join people like Coach, like Casey, like Dennis, like Lou, who's making $43K a month, $36K a month, going from 0 to 33K subs in 6 weeks, and join all these people who you're seeing all these screenshots over on, the left and right side of the screen that I've had throughout this entire video, and join this amazing community. Go ahead and book a call with the link in the description, or shoot me a DM over on Instagram if you're ready to go, and I'll ask you a couple questions. We'll get you onboarded. Hopefully this video provided some value to you, but if you want to speed up this entire process, and instead of getting this done in, a few years, you can get it done in a couple months, then go ahead and book a call. We'll get you onboarded if you're a good fit. And I hope to see you guys inside of the community and inside of the program. Later.